Welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, right at 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And it is Tuesday. Yes, I am back in action on Tuesday, trying to figure out what the heck that I want to talk about today. And I wasn't sure. I bounced around on a couple of different ideas. And then I finally realized something. Something just won't go away. Something just won't go away. I'm like, you know what? Often things happen in the news and people reach out to me and say, hey, Larry, talk about this. Hey, Larry, what about this? And I go, yeah, whatever. It's not going to matter in like 2 weeks. It's not going to matter in a week. It's not going to matter in whatever. Oh, boy, does this matter. And it matters, I think, a lot. I'm not saying I'm surprised. No, that's not the word. I think I'm not surprised how long this has lasted. That I'm not surprised about. I'm kind of surprised how deep it goes, meaning into people's psyche, meaning into groups, breaking up groups and that kind of thing. That I think I'm a little bit surprised about that. It must go that deep. So if I have anything, maybe that's it. But the concept, yeah, people really, boy, doesn't go away. And what is it? It is the man himself, EpiPen. Yes, I actually put his name in the description, hoping I don't get monetized. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But it might anyway. We'll see. But my point is, I don't want to say it. I'm going to call him EpiPen. I think it might be better. I'm going to hope. I don't know. I'm probably going to forget and use his name anyway, just because when I talk normally, I don't use baby talk. So for the YouTube gods, I must do what I must do because censorship, sadly, is real. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So I guess one of the pieces I want to bring up here is just to get this thing started. And what I think was my trigger, I guess, to do it is actually Breaking Points today. Today, Breaking Points brought up a piece talking about the conversation, I guess. Let's see if I can get this up here, between Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly. Now, they, split before, right? They split before, but this was kind of an aggressive split, if that makes any sense. There's a little bit of an aggressive split. And Breaking Points brings this up. And I want to kind of share this for a second to kind of get us to be thinking about this here. If I could, I will do so. Hold on. Where is it? Right about there. Okay.
Are they going? That was pretty interesting. Megyn didn't take like a hard position of like, I definitely think that he was killed, or I definitely think that there are other powerful people who are implicated or whatever. She was more in the like, I really don't think we know exactly what went on here. And Shapiro was in the camp of like, nope, nothing to see here. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and take a listen to.
And that part is, I guess, I understand why someone would want that to happen. But how can you imagine, after all of that stuff that's happened with EpiPen, that all of a sudden you just go, nope, it's done. Shut up, walk away. How could you think that would just happen like that? That part to me, the hubris, this is where I tell you all the time. I've told you this back in November. I said, my worry was once the Republicans got their mandate, some people go, they don't have a mandate. They have a mandate. You don't want to believe it's fine. But they're acting like they have a mandate. If they don't, they are. And once they had a mandate, my worry was they would go too far. Not because of Republicans, because people tend to go too far when they think they have a mandate and nothing can stop me. And I feel like this might have been like too far. They thought I can just tell people no, and people would say, okay.
So this first piece, which to me was just extraordinary because Ben says this thing of basically like, yeah, I was open to it, but once we got that memo, then I was like, oh, I guess there's nothing to see here. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
The government admits this. The FBI established that Epstein used paid employees to repeatedly find and bring minor girls to him.
Now, that's what they all say, right? They found this to be true. His girlfriend is in jail now. So it's possible, look, I mean, highly unlikely, but it's possible this is all a government plot and he's actually an innocent man and so is Ghislaine. They're all innocent. I mean, I guess in some alternate Marvel universe, maybe that's true, but if it's true, then let her out. Make a formal apology. United States was wrong. EpiPen's a good guy. We made a mistake. It was all a misunderstanding. See that? Ha ha. Roll credits. Right? Fine. But I don't see them letting her out of prison. I don't see you laughing and then all of a sudden rolling credits. I don't see that. I think this is true, right?
Epstein worked in concert with others to obtain minor girls, not only for his own sexual gratification, but also for the sexual gratification of others. So I don't know exactly what that means, Ben, but I know that's our government admitting in court that Jeffrey Epstein worked in concert with others to obtain minor girls, not only for himself, but also.
So where are the others?
For the sexual gratification of others. Who are the others? Who specifically?
Well, I mean,
that hasn't been answered. We've heard names bandied about.
One obvious answer is Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Who's in prison right now for having engaged in sexual abuse of children, right? And one of the other people that you just mentioned is one of the others, right? Nadia, whatever her name is. So, that is sort of the big open question that everyone was asking was, okay, who's that? Like Stephen Hawking? Right? Because he was one of the names who was mentioned, or Alan Dershowitz was one of the names who was mentioned.
Lex Wexner.
Or Ehud Barak, or Lex Wexner, right? Like,
yeah, see, when he does this, he's just doing like dismissive distraction. He's just playing off, right? Yeah, I'm sure it was the guys who were all dead. That's silly.
All these were and again, here's my thing. I was open to every single one of these theories until the DOJ and FBI put out a memo saying we have looked at all the evidence and here's what we have come to.
Now, okay, I do get that. I understand that. But the whole point was they were supposed to be corrupt. Wasn't that the entire point? They were the deep state. They were all supposed to be corrupt. So now the corrupt people say they're not corrupt. And you're like, well, all done and done, right? That's the issue. Look, here is my bother. What bothers me about this situation. Do I think that so many people who who are saying what Ben Shapiro is saying, do I think they're all people who are trying to hide the PDF files? No, I don't think that's the goal. Here's what I believe in my heart, that some of this, if not a chunk of this, is we can't let Trump or this revolution fail because it's the end of our nation. I'm not joking with you. I think there are people who are like, I don't care what happens. The opposite is the end of the world. If the Mamdanis take over, it's the end of the nation. I don't care about all the other stuff. I don't care about anything else. We cannot attack. Get on a plan. Trust Trump. Just do this. I don't care, because if we don't do that, then Mamdani becomes president of the United States. It's President Mamdani and Vice President AOC. That is what I think a lot of people honestly believe. And then it's going to be Sharia law and communism. Sharia law is that's what I think people honestly believe. I think that is an issue. I think they're concerned. I really do.
Right, you were persuaded by that memo without more. I mean, like, I wasn't persuaded. I also trust Dan.
I'm not persuaded.
See, he's not persuaded by the memo. Now he has a reason. What he has is, I now have an excuse to defend Trump to the death.
By a memo. What I'm persuaded by is the fact that I have not seen evidence that they have seen. And so I'm not prepared to call Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, President Trump, J.D. Vance, and Pam Bondi.
It's not the same, though.
See, that's the problem. I can't call my team liars. It's no difference that when the Yankees lose a game, I just say it's because the umps cheated. Why? Because Yankees. That's why they lost. Why they lose? Did they lose because the team played better than them? No, of course not. No, Yankees are always right, always correct, always amazing. Whenever they lose, the umpires cheated. Done. Why? Because Yankees. That's the reason. This is Ben Shapiro. Because Yankees. Not a great answer is all I'm saying.
Their two-page memo says no credible evidence. No credible evidence. Well, somebody's made a judgment call there, and you could drive a truck through that exception.
What'd you think of that, Em?
Well, it's exactly what we were just talking about. That if the Trump administration, let's say even the two of us and people who have covered the story seriously and skeptically for years, if the Trump administration came out and produced evidence beyond trust us and a not raw piece of video that they told us was raw and said, listen, we really did look into it and we're going to show our work here and give.
Now, Sagar said the same thing. And Sagar is correct. Now, of course, Crystal thinks no matter what they're cooked. I don't agree. Let me be very clear why I say this. I know some of you watching and listening don't like Trump at all. I get it. I'm just telling you the truth. His people still love him. Now, they're on the fence now when they're worried and there's some problems, but they still love him. All he had to do was just say, hey, here's all the stuff. Here's all the goodies that I have. I got everything. I'm transparent. And with all of this out here that you all can see now, I don't think there's any more of a list. That Trump's people would have bought. They would have. They'd be like, oh, let me see it. If he said, here's the transparency. Here's everything. We looked at it. Here's what we looked at. Here's how we looked at it. Here's everything. Take it. Look at it. You guys online, conspiracy theorists, take it. Alex Jones, take it. If they had done that and let everybody see everything, that's not going to happen. I'm obviously in the fantasy world. But if he had done all of that, and some conspiracy theories would have been like, oh, no, I think X, Y, and Z or whatever. But if he'd have been transparent and said, I looked at this, so did my people, here's everything, we see nothing. We see nothing. If he had actually done that, most of these people would have been like, okay, I guess we were somehow fooled or somebody lied. There'd still be some conspiracy theorists here or there, of course. But remember, Trump's people love him. If he were to be transparent, he would have went. He would have been able to get past this. He didn't. He just said, what's wrong with you people? I said no. Why won't you just accept me saying no? Aren't I your God? That's what he said. Aren't I your God? Your God has told you no. The answer is therefore no. Walk away, my children. Right? But he didn't. But now people say, wait, no, that's not it. No, that's not going to work. Now you might go, okay, but Larry, a lot of people love Trump. True. Not true. Why is this so important to so many people? Why does this hit home with so many people? There's a lot of reasons. There really are. One, and of course, I'm sorry. Okay, it was Bichote, did I get it right? Bichote says, well, first there's the PDF. Yes. The grabbing an SA. Yes. The whole equal before the law part. Yes. Then there's the blackmail part. Yes. But why does it, the funny part is I think the blackmail part, while for Americans in our government is the worst part, like it affects us the most. I think most Americans, to be forward with you, think the first parts are more important because they hit in the visceral. Like blackmail, well, again, I'm not discounting how important that is. Clearly it is. Other people can control the government that way. But I'm saying at a gut level, that it almost feels like blackmail is like for them. I don't care. Almost feels like that. But doing that with kids like that hits, right? That hits. That's like, you can't get away with that. Like you can rob people. All right. Sucks, but you get around, right? You can beat some people up. That sucks, but yeah. All right. Bomb some people. Just sucks, but yeah. But you're doing that with little kids? No. You don't get to get away with that. Like we, as humans, we go, no, that's not okay. So I think that part, actually, even though the blackmail part for the country as a nation is far worse nationally, but in the gut, man, that PDF thing, that hits, doesn't it? That's like, I'm like, you can't get away with that. No. Like, I'm not okay with that. Not that I'm okay when you get away with blackmail, but at least, again, it's almost like the mob, right? It's kind of weird, but you'll get what I'm saying. When like two mobsters fight and one dies, or two gangbangers shoot and they die, it's terrible. Like it's someone's husband, wife, kid died. Terrible. But in our hearts, we think, yeah, but they were kind of in the game, and they knew what they were doing. Like we feel that as humans. Yeah, it sucks, but but then kids, we go, no, what'd the kid do? Like the kid didn't pick this life. The kid didn't decide this. We don't like it at all. So yes, Kim's already triggered. I haven't even said anything. Kim got triggered when I put the thumbnail up. She was already triggered. Absolutely. She says, they are important for a number of reasons. In my opinion, most important is they can tell us how gullible and misled we are as a people and how much more important money is over our daughters. See, I don't think the money part is the part here, Kim. I don't. I think it's the power part. I don't think it's the money. Almost all the people in that world, they got tons of money. Right? I mean, look, of course, people who are rich still want more money. I'm not saying they don't want more. Of course, people do. People naturally want more. I'm not saying they don't. But I feel like it isn't the money as much as it is the power. Right? You go to P. Diddy. Why did P. Diddy do what he did? dude had tons of money, right? Tons of money. I mean, tons of money. He was a media mogul. He could decide, Kim, you are now a rapper, and you are because P. Diddy said so. That's the kind of power the guy had. So what did he want? He wanted power over people. If any of the stories are true, and I assume that most of them are, but maybe I'm wrong, but I assume most of them are true. The things he didn't do for his own, like for him to have the pleasure. He got pleasure out of making other people do things. His pleasure that he got personally was in the power, not in the actual act. If that makes any sense, right? I feel it's more that. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me what you think, Kip. I think it's more that than just I want more cash or I want more of this. I feel it's more like the power thing. That's what my gut tells me, right? If you're EpiPen, you got power over people with this. Like you like, oh no, that law, that don't count for me. What do you mean? Well, because I got these videos. Oh, right. Yeah, that law doesn't count for you. Like that, right? Well, I don't want you voting this way. Well, why not? Because I got these pictures of you. Oh, right. I'm not going to vote that way. That I feel it's that versus just more cash or something. And then I think something else. Why does someone hang out with EpiPen? Right? Serious question, Kim. Why do you hang out with him? And when you know he's shady, right? Like he's shady, right? Trump even said it. He likes him a little bit young. Trump said that. So maybe you didn't know that he liked them illegal. Maybe you didn't know that. Initially, maybe you didn't go there. You heard stories. Maybe you weren't sure. Maybe he just likes 18-year-olds, which is still bad if a guy who's 50. I get it, but that's not illegal. Okay, maybe you're like, yeah, he likes the young girls like DiCaprio. He likes them like 19. It's fine. World's not going to end. They're adults. We can live with that. So why do you go? I think because powerful people are there. I don't think it's because of the money, Kim. I think they show up because the power people show up. They all hang out with EpiPen, so I'm going to hang out with EpiPen because I'm a powerful person too. See, look how powerful I am. I'm going to hang out with these people because I'm powerful. And then when powerful people start going into the back rooms, you think, oh, well, they went in the back room. I guess I can go in the back room because that's what powerful people do. So I'm going to go in the back room. And before you know it, you got some videotape on you. Now what? That's what I think happens. I don't have evidence of this, Kim. I don't have evidence of this. It's what my gut tells me of the people that I know and how I know them. That's what I think. And then once that happens and you get there, what are you going to do there? Now, there's one advantage to being a libertarian in this one. As long as they are consenting adults, we don't care, right? So if it's me and I go there and I won governor of New York back in 2018 or whatever, right? And all of a sudden I was like, go hang out with EpiPen. And I'm like, oh, is that a thing? I got to make money over there? Maybe I'm trying to get donors, right? So I head over to his island, not knowing, thinking he's like young girls. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, Larry, here's a professional woman. Is she of age? Yes, I don't care. I'm libertarian. You do you. Enjoy the professional women who are adults. The second someone goes, oh, this one, no, she's whatever, 16. I go, whoa, why? No, that's not how that works. No, that's not how that works. And then I literally come clean. I literally go, dude, I was at EpiPen's island, and these dudes, they had like 16-year-olds. Lara, you was in EpiPen's island with all the professional women? I can't use the right word here. I'm on YouTube. But the women who do the deeds for cash? Yeah, I don't care about that. That's fine. But when they were underage, I was like, this is a problem. Oh, so you're not embarrassed that you were professional women? No, I don't care. I don't. Like, I don't care. Fine. Do it again. A libertarian. That doesn't bother me. So a libertarian could come clean because once they go under the age, then we go, whoa, that's a problem. They're adults. I don't care. So, but these guys, they can't be hanging out with those professional women because their image. Luckily, I don't have that. So there's the see, that's why you should vote libertarian. Libertarians on that island would have broke the scoop. We wouldn't have been embarrassed. But you were getting a bunch of money. Yes, libertarians love money. But you were getting, yes, we love money. Capitalism's good. We want that. We took tons of money. But these women were trading favors for cash. Yes, the adults, we were fine with it. We didn't have a problem with it. It was when the kids came out. Then we were like, okay, nope. We're noping out at that point. Anyway, I went way long in this one, Kim. I'm sorry. You got triggered. You got me triggered. I guess we're even now. Okay, I guess now we're even. Let me head on over to Rumble if I could. Let's see here. Oh, okay. One Loot is talking about Trump, and she's saying, and now Maxwell wants a microphone and is being refused. Will she be ended? I'll say that. You know what? That's true. Look at Maxwell. Is she all of a sudden like, well, if everybody's good, why am I in jail? She's got a point. She's got a point. So I guess we're letting her out now. Whoops. Is that what we're gonna do? Sorry about that. Made that mistake. Just, yeah, maybe. Look, why do I bring this piece up? Here's something that I think you might enjoy. I think you might enjoy this. I think the timing on this one is perfect. The timing on this is right. Okay, the timing on this is perfect because it is about civil. Why do I bring this up? Because on civil right now, and this has been on for a while, I tell you always about our Freedom Fest. I bring it up all the time. And here is literally Freedom Fest 2024. Not this year, but last year Freedom Fest. Look who's on the stage. What? Who can defeat the deep state? Well, it's Brett Weinstein, Anson McCardle, but also Clinton Russell and Kash Patel. Wait a minute, Kash Patel. Weren't you all about defeating the deep state? You were.
And here's a little something about how to give ourselves a reset by defeating the deep state.
And that is the one and only Lisa Kennedy, the amazing, the awesome, the wonderful, the perfect Lisa Kennedy. That is her, as well as she always does, emceeing like a boss.
So we're going to hear a fascinating panel from Angela McCardle, who happens to be the chairman of the National Libertarian Party, and her co-panelists, who will be Clint Russell, Kash Patel, and Brett Weinstein. They have a lot to say, an incredible amount of knowledge concentrated between the four of them.
So don't you want to see Kash Patel talk some trash now? Well, you can. Just head over to Civil. That's all it takes. Head on over to Civil, CIVL. And when you go there, log in. When you log in, there's going to be a little green panel on the right-hand side. Click that button when you put your name in, and then put the code in, Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, all caps, 50% off, which means $25 for the entire year. Every single show, I show you cool things about Civil. Can it be better than this one at this time? Seeing Kash Patel talk trash and then walk up afterwards and go, deep state? What deep state? There's no deep state. I was just kidding. But wait a minute. Here on Civil, we have you say, no, just jokes. I got jokes, guys. I thought Freedom Fest was just about, I thought it was comedians. I thought we were just telling jokes. No, brother, you weren't. Absolutely, it's important. This is what actually matters. But here's the best part. Wednesday show is not just this, but Wednesday show, tomorrow's show, I'll be on Civil. It's a Civil-only show. What's special about that? It's We Fix It Wednesday. Yes, it is. Wednesday is now We Fix It Wednesday. You thought, wait a minute. How cool is Wednesday? I thought like Monday was cool. Monday is cool. But now Wednesday's cool too, because We Fix It Wednesday. Which Spike Cohen, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Spike Cohen from You Are the Power, will be on with me tomorrow, 7 p.m. on Civil. But Larry, how do I see it? Very easy. Civil.com, C-I-V-L. Look, this is the way we get rid, as I speak about all the time, we get rid of the conflict machine. We talk about how to fix things. It's about respect. All the cool things. It's all on Civil, CIVL.com. Code Larry, L-A-R-R-Y, $25 a year, 50% off. That's the answer. I hope you will enjoy. So good timing for EpiPen. I know you guys are like, wait a minute. Did he like make? Yeah, I did. But no matter what, Pete coming in hot. 36 trillion, 598 billion, 345 million, $542,154.94. That's our national debt. That's national debt. Yeah. Kim says, I would have highly disappointed with you if you had not had a show on this subject. Thank you for recovering, Larry. But I got to go further with this, Kim. I know I got a little bit triggered on this one, but I want to go further on this. This is a secondary piece here. There is, without question, a distrust in all of our systems, in all of our institutions, which is just getting worse and worse. You see it, I see it, we all see it. The only way we get around this, the only way, and it will still take time, this will not be tomorrow. The only way we get around this is through insane transparency. And right now, the only one who's even talking about this anymore, only one person is talking about it anymore, and that's RFK Jr. Now, is he perfect? No. I'm not going to say he's perfect. Am I going to say when it comes to transparency, he's the best? Yes, I am. Yes, I will say that on the record. When it comes to transparency, he's the best one we got. And he's still talking about it. No one else is. No one else talking about it anymore. That transparency, that's for chumps. That was before. That's before we got elected. We're talking about that now. He's still talking about it. And it's the best one we got. He is, whether you agree with RFK Jr. or not, he is at least showing you more than anybody else is. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's hope the rest do it. Yes. Patty says, saving our children from PDFs and of any kind, any status is something we all care about. See, Patty, you're with me, right? I think we're thinking the same here, right? Again, logically, on a purely logical level only, blackmailing our elites is far more important for the nation than X number of kids being trashed and harmed and destroyed. Bad still, but purely on a logical, not emotion, blackmail is far worse because we can start World War III or whatever, right? Of course. But I get you. That emotional level, no, it's kids. Far more important. That stays. Like, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yes. Rick says, doesn't it bother you that his name is said Epstein instead of the long English I in the way German demands, like Epstein? Yes. And it would be Stein in German. It wouldn't be Epstein. It would be Epstein. So yes, but correct. ST in German is st, not st. There's no st in German. It's st. So yeah, correct. All right. Dave says the E-files do matter. Trump will use them against political enemies in 2026, 2028. Ooh. So you think this is being held over? You know, I could see it, Dave. I could see it. Maybe I could see it. Maybe. So, but that means he has to keep holding. Does that mean he ever lets it out? Does he then, after 2028, go, okay, damage is done, everybody look? Does he do that? Maybe. I could see it. Like, I could see it, but I'm not sure. Yumir says, Larry, for governor of New York. Yes, I love that. I do like that. Let me go to the next piece, though. I'm going back to what Bicchiote said up front. The equal before the law part also matters. Not only do we not trust our institutions, we also feel like the elites constantly get away with everything. And they kind of do. Not like we just made that up, right? That's big. Don't get me wrong. Once in a while, we get an elite. We do. We get one, one every whatever, 100 or whatever the number is. I don't know. One every 1,000. We get one. Okay, there's one. Got him. Sacrifice that guy. What about the 900 guys get away with it? Well, shh. We got this guy. But there's 9. Shut up. We got this guy. Yeah, but when it comes to poor people, like we get all of them, and even those who don't do it, we get like extra when it comes to them. I know, but we got one bad guy who's a big guy. Be happy we got one. I think that part also is the same. I agree with you. I agree. But here's the issue. When we walk down this road, is this enough? Is this enough to break up? Maybe break up. Is this enough to take the shine off of? Is this enough to get people to walk away from Trump? Now, he's got a coalition. And if you remember, I said this before, the problem with what Trump has created, the glory of what Trump created is he actually created an actual coalition, to a political coalition. The Democrats did not do that. They were just like, we're Democrats, shut up, Harris is queen, bow and keep walking. No coalition. Trump did create a coalition. The problem with the coalition is it's coalition, so it can fall apart. Does this break it apart? Does it break it apart? Pete says the cover-up of EpiPen is worse than a cover-up of Biden's dementia. I agree. And because I think the cover-up of dementia now in most of our minds is that's like forever ago. Like, so what? We can fix that. Like, we can get past that. That's, I think, how most people think. And Biden was not, I don't think, at least, he wasn't. Is he in the files? I don't think he's in the files. So, well, Biden might have been like sniffing on girls or something or whatever. I mean, that was a thing. Compared to what EpiPen was doing, Biden could sniff, right? I mean, if I got to put him on a horrible-ometer, sniffing That's nothing. I mean, that's fine. I mean, not fine, but compared to systemic assaults on children, yes, sniffing is fine. Like that, you could sniff. It's fine. I'm not going to be mad at you anymore. Like you can sniff. I'm let that go. I'm not good, but there's far worse. So I'm with you. I think it is far worse. Yes. Phil says Ben is such an institutionalist. He tries to act like he's not, but he is. You're right. Yes. James says the second piece, which is important. This piece matters too. Why does it matter? Because he ran on releasing the files. P.S. EpiPen didn't finish himself. Look. What I have given Trump credit for is even things I didn't agree with. Because generally speaking, there's exceptions obviously, but generally speaking, Trump has done what he said he would do. Not true. I'm sorry. Trump has attempted. That's what I would say. Trump has attempted everything he said he would. Not everything. Most things. That's what I would say. Most. He's trying to end the war in Ukraine. Again, I think he was going to do it, but it's fine. He said he was going to do it. He tried. He's been trying to fix the economy. I don't know if it's working. He says no tariff. He's doing that, right? He's doing the things he said. Even when I disagree with him, I think tariffs are a terrible idea. But I said, you should do what you say. To your point, James, he ran on tariffs. Gave us tariffs. Oh, we changed his mind. But I get it. He ran on the files. You got to put him out. You got to. Right? You got to. Pete says, Republicans took a big game until they're actually in power. Often true. Yes. Yeah. Rick says, doesn't the EpiPen seem to be the real QAnon pizza conspiracy? Just trade S for the adrenochrome as something more true is revealed. I mean, but in the case of the adrenochrome, weren't they supposed to be killing them? I probably shouldn't say that. I'm not getting monetized on this damn thing. Anyway, wasn't that I don't remember the pizza thing as much as I used to, as what it was a while ago. Was that? I mean, maybe. Look, it's to Patty's point, Rick, in that when you start putting the kids out there, we get triggered, right? So whether it's SA, whether it's adrenochrome, whatever, if it's kids, we get triggered. Like we're like, no. So that's why the conspiracies that have kids, we all like care about more than if it's just guys doing stuff, right? Don't get me wrong, it's still bad, but again, we think of people in power as kind of you get what you put in for this, so you get it. But kids, no. Yes. Joel says all this transparency around Epi sweeps all doubts and questions. Joel, you're right. I love that. I know you're teasing, and you're totally right. The opposite makes it worse. Most people who like Trump never thought Trump had anything to do with the files. I mean, not true. They thought he was in the files, right? He's clearly in the files, right? Because I mean, he was hanging out with those people, all the cool kids, but doesn't mean he was doing something that he needed to hide. RFK Jr.'s in the files, came out clean, said, "Hey, here's what I did. I got in this plane. I took a plane route with my family. Yep, I probably shouldn't have, but I did. And RFK Jr. is fine. He was in the files, but everyone can see just flying planes around, trying to be cool with EpiPen. Okay, I got it. Now, Trump might be the same thing. Maybe he was just flying around in planes and being cool with EpiPen. Okay, maybe that's true. And most people who like Trump thought same thing. He probably flew around in planes with him, whatever. And that's not, I don't care if he did that, right? You're hanging out with the cool kids. You're one of the cool kids flying a plane, whatever. I don't care about that. But as he tries to hide, it feels like he's hiding something, Joel. And I think some people are like, wait a minute. Is he hiding something? Did he do something bad too? Was he on the island doing some stuff he shouldn't be doing? I think people starting to think that. Yes. Matthew says, I'm both glad and surprised that all the Trump supporting social media shows all say that this is BS. Me too. I'm agreeing with you. I hope, this is my hope. I hope Trump decides to just give in. And I know that's not his personality. It's not. He tends to dig in deeper. That tends to be his personality. But I hope he just goes, fine, take it all. And if people get hammered, they get hammered. And he'll make up his excuse for whatever he did and move on, and people will just accept it. That is what I hope. That is what I hope will happen. But look, the other problem is, what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? What is our response if he goes, I said no, you're not getting it. No, he just does that. No, I said it's nothing. Nothing to see here. I'm gonna go bomb Ukraine or something or whatever. I'm gonna go bomb Russia, whatever. He's gonna bomb somebody, whatever. He's gonna go do his thing. I'm done. We're gonna sanction Russia and shut up. What if he does that? Do people fight back? I don't know. Maybe. I could see it, but I don't know. Maybe. Speaking of that, though, if I could get you to do me a small favor, guys. Speaking of that, fighting back. When you have a moment, I ask you all the time, head on over through the link that I showed you. There's a link in my descriptions, all of them. It talks about a link to the Advocates. The Advocates has a very cool test, a very cool quiz. And this quiz here is the protest and civil disobedience quiz. Yes, get over there and take a quiz. Now, some of you can say, well, Larry, I went over there and I took my political world's smallest political quiz test. Awesome. Love that. Glad you did that. Hey, Larry, I went over that, took the human respect test. Awesome. Love it. Glad you did that. Did you take the protest and civil disobedience test? I bet you didn't. If you did, thank you, but you probably didn't. So head over there. Click on the spot where it says quizzes and apps. Click over on single issue surveys. And when you're on single issue surveys, you can go down and see all of them. Natural response preparedness and response survey, DOGE single issue survey, gun control, federal spending, all these things. But don't do those. Don't do that. Don't do those. Instead, do this one. Protest and civil disobedience. Take this one. Here was question one. Which of the following most closely aligns with your beliefs? Violent, in quotes, protests are morally justified when reform doesn't come quickly enough. 2, the law should always be respected or communities will be reduced to chaos. 3, violent protests are immoral because damage is done to parties who are not individually responsible for the protest's grievance. Violence is only justified in self-defense. Which do you think is true? And where have you been in your life in this? Have you been in a spot where you thought one of these maybe shouldn't have been true or should be true? Click it and then go to the next question. And when you are done, you can give me your email address if you want to. Of course, love to. They're gonna, unless you're already signed in, doesn't matter. They'll send you your results. You get your results. When you get your results, share them. Share your results. Please take the test, take the quiz. It's short, and share your results. Why? I want other people taking these tests too and thinking about it. The more we think about it, the better we're going to have good conversations. That's why I love the Advocates. Do me a favor, take this quiz, do it today, and share the results. Click the link, theadvocates.org. There's a link in my description on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Rumble. All righty. Let me keep running down this road if I could. There's so many of you asking me so many different questions. I want to keep going down here if I can. All right. So as I said before, I'm appreciating all of the comments. Mike says Trump kind of did do that, having said that Bondi can release all relevant material to the public. Happened today. Maybe. But you remember what he did? You remember what he did in that press conference, Mike? He was like, why are you guys still talking about this? Why do you guys keep doing that? Once you do that, you now you can't kinda, right? If he had not done that, he could have kinda. He did that. He can't kinda. That's not going to work. Patty says 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 20 boys is a victim of a certain type of abuse, self-reporting, so most likely higher. This is why it's triggering. If you weren't abused, you know someone who was a child. True. That's accurate, Patty. You're right. It is. I get it. And again, it's kids. I mean, don't get me wrong. No one should be abused. But to your point, Patty, kids are innocent. Like, what did they do? They didn't. You know, you can always argue if they're an adult. Well, why'd you do this? Or you can victim blame. I'm saying you should, but you can victim blame if they're an adult. You can't victim blame a kid. You just can't. There's no way around that, right? You can't. There's no way around it. Absolutely true. I totally get it. 100%. Missy says, need some Sharpe way swag? Maybe a t-shirt or a mug? Check out the products at our store. Yes, Zazzle.com. Absolutely. The Sharpe way store. It is Zazzle.com/store/Sharpe_way. That's the coolest place to go if you want some. So, yeah, absolutely. All righty. Kim says, it was just reported they're now saying 3 minutes missing from the jail video. I saw that too. And here's my point, Kim. This is kind of what Pete's saying. It's just making it worse. Like, at one point, just, okay, take it, whatever. Don't you have to? It's almost like that kid who you're looking at the kid and he's got like the powdered donut stuff on his mouth, and then the 2 donuts are gone. And you're like, did you eat the donut? No. And he's got the powdered donut. Like, dude, we know you ate the donut, right? No, I didn't. Okay, at what point are you just going to say you ate the donut? They're going to show you in the mirror? Wait, okay, it's the mirror. It's you with the powder on your face. You going to tell me now? You got it on your hands, dude. At what point do you just go, okay, I ate the donut? This is where we are right now, Kim. We're there. Like, we're there. It's terrible that we're there. 100%. Rick says, since Shapiro went full cancel culture, I've stopped watching this kind of. There's no doubt, if there's such a thing as woke right, he is woke right. You're correct. Yes. Shapiro is woke right. Yes. He's the poster child for woke right. Absolutely true. 100%. I wish that wasn't true. Yeah. All righty. Let's see here. Joel says, the number of children trafficked from our open borders is great. Well, the advantage is that's been severely curtailed. That's the good part, right? There's, again, I'm going to give Trump credit where credit is due, right? He said he was going to shut the border down. He did. Okay. You also said EpiPen, so do that too, right? Do the things you said you were going to do. So, yes, just saying, do the thing that you said, 100%. John says, official stance, nothing to see here more than 24 hours ago. Orange man, are people still talking about it? Yes. Yeah, correct. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, that's good. Kim goes, yes, that part with kids. Yes. And so much point to Trump. That was enough for me to never. Yeah, I know. RFK Jr. did a smart thing. I got to give him that. He had a lot of stuff on him. RFK Jr. had a lot of stuff. He just came out. I know, for those of you who know, I was in the press being his surrogate, taking some of that heat. Yeah, just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. It's the only way. Kim, it's the only way. Just come out and say it, and whatever happens, happens. Otherwise, you're in trouble. The cover-up, Pete's right, is always worse. Mike says, I wonder, did Trump make deals to not expose people/governments? Trump is transactional. What did he get for America to go through this trouble? Because there's no reason for Trump to hide anything otherwise. It's good. You know what? If that's true, and that is within his personality, that could be true. That's his personality. It could be true. So, I mean, I think you're giving him benefit of doubt, but maybe it's true. It is his personality. If he did, why do you assume it was for America and not for something else? Maybe. I mean, it could be. So you're saying your argument, or your proposal is there was some government highfalutin guy came over, did some stuff with some kids at EpiPen's Island, and then Trump said, all right, I'll squash this whole thing, but you got to give me this or you got to give me that. I mean, I think it's a stretch, but is it his personality? Yes. Is that a thing that Trump could do? I would say yes, that is a thing Trump could do. But then where's the amazing deal? Like, where's that deal? I don't see the deal. I'd have this a magical deal, like, I don't know. China decides that whole Taiwan thing, just kidding. Like, if that happened, I'd be like, dude, okay, then that's fine, right? I understand that, right? That would be massive if something like that happened. But the deal would have to be just, I mean, like that. It would have to be that amazing. Like, we don't care about Taiwan anymore. Like that kind of deal. Or like, oh, you know, that whole Israeli war, just kidding, Tuesday solution tomorrow. Like, or Iran goes, we're kidding, you know, we're going to overthrow our government. Like that kind of thing. That'd be something massive. I can't imagine like a good trade deal. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I could see it, but I'd have to see like a crazy deal. I can't. I made those deals up, and it'd be something like that. Then maybe. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't see it. So, all righty. Paula says, discuss that conservative media are dancing around all the, abuse and human trafficking is at the heart of the EpiPen atrocities. They're all QAnon, but now it's nothing to see here. Okay, yes. And I'm going to go by the same piece, I think. I honestly believe that a lot of them are saying, okay, hold on, let me get this right. I want to say it's the right way. This I think is the Republican cope. This Republican cope, which is Yeah, this feels wrong, Paula. Yeah, it's kids and I'm disgusted, Paula. But if we take Trump down, that's the end of our movement. And it's President AOC and Vice President Mamdani or the reverse. And that's the end of everything. We lose, the country goes under. I think that's what they're saying. And therefore, it's okay to lie. It's okay to hide. It's okay to forget about this. Look over there. It's okay to distract because it's real politique. See, that's where I think a lot of their heads are. I'm not saying I agree with this, Paula. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I can see how conservative media could do that dance because they're so concerned or worried. I could see that. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. I'm not in any way, right? I'm not in any way saying that I'm agreeing with it. I'm explaining it. If it makes any sense. Kim says, ego, power, yes, I agree. Yes, we the people voted for that ilk. True. See, we're on the same page, Kim. I think it's the power part. I think we're on the same page. Yes. Scott says, and they can push their personal agendas, hoping to use his influence if they can persuade him it's worth it. Yes. Also true. Yep. Absolutely. All righty. Joel says, there are people obsessed with appearances. If the cool kids are going to EpiPen Island, they'll have to go. Yes. This is one of the things we talk about when it comes to, believe it or not, even charities. Right? Why do certain people give to certain charities? Well, because they care about a charity. Sometimes no, because other people who have money will be there. So, I care about this charity that helps out whatever, the kids or whatever. You don't care about kids. You just know that some people care about kids, and the people you want to meet care about the kids. They write a big check to the kids, so you write a big check to the kids. Why? So you can meet with the cool people and make big deals. That happens all the time. All the time. Yes. Dave says, Larry, people on social media admit that it doesn't matter if Trump's involved. Trump is too important to the nation for him to be brought down by this, even if he's guilty. Thank you. That's my point, Dave. You're not on the same page. I think there are a lot of people who honestly believe that. I think conservative media believes that. You can't take him down. He's the greatest thing in the world. Without him, we're finished. So even if he's bad, doesn't matter. And I think you found that years ago in 2016 and 2020, when so many evangelicals were like, okay, he's a twice divorced, cheated on every woman he ever known, philanderer, 3 baby mamas, right? Never goes to church except when he has to, like when someone dies. That's it. And we're going to support him. Why? Because he'll get us Roe v. Wade. He'll get us judges. So worth it. I think there was a similar piece here, Dave. Similar. I'm with you. I really believe that's the answer. Yes. So, yeah, Kim, you hear me say it all the time. I stress it. Because I am very libertarian on social issues. You know I am. I'm very social. Look, and the funny part is, you guys know me. I'm square. Like, my only drug I use is caffeine. I don't even drink. I'm not joking. Like, I have literally water and coffee. That's all I ever drink. If anyone's ever seen me, I drink only 2 things: water and coffee, nothing else. So I don't smoke, nothing. But if you want to do it, you do it. And you have to do it with whomever you want to do it, as long as they are those 2 things. Consenting, they're good with it, and they're adults. Enjoy your life. I will choose to not partake. And if you ask my opinion, I will tell you probably shouldn't do the thing. But if you want to, it is your body. You do as you see fit with it. That's all I would say. Mike says, libertarians have no power, so we never get invited to the island. True. You're not wrong. Yeah. They wouldn't. Yeah, but they might. And the funny part is, if I ever had any power, would they even invite me? They might not. Because they might know I won't care. And then when the kids come out, well, then I'm spilling the beans. Like, yeah, then I'm telling mom and dad. I am. When the kids come out, I'm telling mom and dad. That's going to happen when the kids come out. The kids don't come out. I don't care. Kids come out, I'm telling mom and dad. And they know that. So yes, that's all I'm saying. Okay. Let me keep going down here if I can. John says, Republicans save the children, pro-life. Republicans when Trump admin is covering up the PDFs, blackmail. What list? That's true. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Mike says, okay, people keep saying Trump is covering himself. Unlikely. He long promised to reveal all, and he wouldn't say that. Risk leaks Dems would do if he was involved. Makes no sense. I'm with you on this, Mike, tell you the truth. I am. I'm with you on this. In that I'm saying what I think is true versus how it looks. So that's why I'm bothered by this. Because if he was in the files, I feel like somehow some Democrat would have been like, because the opposite is true, right? As so many Republicans think we have to save Trump no matter what. To Dave's point, it doesn't matter. He's the Messiah. It's irrelevant. Who cares if he killed people? Who cares if what he did with kids? Doesn't matter. He's the Messiah, right? On the opposite side, the Democrats like he's the Antichrist. He's the end of the world. He's an existential threat. He's Hitler, right? So we got to stop him. So I think with both of those sides, your point's a valid one, Mike. If the Democrats had something, they would have sacrificed others to stop him because he was the existential threat. He was the end of the world. Just like so many Republicans love him, are like, no, he's the Messiah. He's the Antichrist. So he's both to both sides, or both to either side. Either to either side, whichever. Both sides see him as extreme. How about that? There we go. So I get that. Okay, so if that's true, if you're right, Mike, well, then why is he covered up? If you're right, why is he covered up? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're saying makes no sense. I'm agreeing. Something's up. Was there some kind of deal made before, after, whatever? Transparency is the answer either way. Regardless, transparency is the answer, by the way. So yes, Dave goes to it. Trump's the Messiah. The Messiah can do what he wants. True. Yes, true. Kim says, Maxa will paint Trump all innocent. She heard the word pardon. Oh, brilliant. Kim, look at you. You see that? Kim. Yeah. Maxwell's like, wait a minute. So I can come out, talk my trash, say Trump did nothing wrong, and get a pardon? Trump did nothing wrong. Of course he did. Nothing wrong at all. I agree. Yes. Andrea says, exactly, Cash promised to dismantle deep state. He did. And he did not do it. Yes, he did not do it. Guys, when I ask you the little thing I was asking you, click the button known as like, Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. I want you to do so. It does matter. This is going to get so demonetized. So please share it at least. At least share it. If you click the button, people will see it. The algo rhythm will like it and then say, hey, let me send it out there. Also, share this other places. Repost this on X. Share this into a Facebook group, whatever case may be. Please do so. And if you can follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble, that will help. We got to get to Rumble. We're almost on the way to 500. We're like 490 something. Get over to Rumble if you can, and follow me on Rumble so we can get this thing moving. It really does matter tremendously. I do want people to start following me if they can. So please follow me on Rumble so I can get to 500. Then maybe I can do some Rumble shows and talk like an adult, not like a baby like I have to do on YouTube. That would help if you can do that. Please do so. Also, when you become a member, please become a member if you want to. Members can put in reaction vids. Members were on the show last Friday. I will do another member show next month. So I'm going to try to do a member show every single month if I can to get my members on here. To become a member, very easy. Head over to YouTube, click that join button. Done and done. Head over to YouTube, click the join button. When you do that, it's $49 per month. Larry, $49 per month? Yes. Look how good looking I am. Come on. And I'm doing 3, 4, 5 shows a week. Come on. I'm putting out like 10 hours of live content every week. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? Like me. That's who's doing it. So if you can't do that, I'd appreciate it. Again, every single bit does matter. If you can become a member, please do so. All righty. Shelly says it too. The files matter because kids were involved. Yes. 100%. Dreamer has RFK with a heart. That's the part that I'm bringing up, right? That's the part I'm bringing up. RFK Jr. said, yeah, I was on his plane. Done. Right? Kim says, transparency why I fell in love with RFK Jr. Yes. Look, I get he can't be perfect. I get it. I mean, you guys know, I literally was his surrogate last year. You know, right? How many times you guys see me scrapping for him? I scrapped for him. You see, I scrapped for him, and I would do it because he was the best we had out there. It's true. Just was. Kajan says, Larry, slightly off topic. I watched some vids about Miyamoto Musashi today. Gutted me in the best way. Made me think how far the pedos are. Oh, yes, those guys from that way of being. Miyamoto fan now. Yes, I'm a big fan. I said, I asked, you guys asked me in my AMA, what people would I want to talk to? It's actually 3 people I want to talk to. I was teasing. I was talking about like hot women. I'm teasing. There's 3 people I actually want to sit and talk with if I could from history. There's actually 3. Otto von Bismarck, the amazingly savvy German politician. That's number 1. Number 2, Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman of all time. And Frederick Douglass, the guy who went from being a slave to being a statesman, basically, and was able to not only forgive, but also move forward and make actual change aggressively. Those, if I could have 3 people dealing with 3 people, it'd be those 3 people. They're all gone, obviously, but those 3. So yes, Black, German, and Japanese. Those are my 3. There we go. So that's what I picked. I agree. Big Miyamoto Musashi fan. His book, The Book of 5 Rings, one of the best books out there if you understand how that works. Yeah, absolutely. So let me, if I can, grab a couple of super chats. Phil, thank you for $2. Is Trump protecting spy agencies, not his actions? Ooh, nice one. All right, Mike. See? Phil got something for you. Okay. So maybe Trump actually didn't do anything weird with EpiPen. And I'm not against that, right? I think he could have been similar to an RFK Jr., right? I don't know, but so far I've seen no evidence that Trump did anything with the kids. No evidence of that, right? And you're right, he was going to let it out. Yes. But again, I'm sure he was flying around in jets and stuff. It's fine, whatever, all good. But did he get in charge? And then when the files came out, and there's maybe like the spy agencies were actually running the whole thing, like the Israeli spy agency, people talking about that. Could it be that? CIA maybe, to make sure they can blackmail people. I don't know that to be true, right? I don't know that to be true, but people are talking about it. Could be true. But that then would make sense because in a spy agency say, yeah, you're not going to let this out. And he goes, but I don't care. I'm not in it. Yeah, but all the people you know are going to wind up having accidents if this gets out. That to me could make sense. That could make sense. If there is some blackmailing going on, I don't know that, but I'm saying that at least would make sense to me. If we heard later on that that's what happened, I'd be like, that makes sense. That I get. I think Phil's onto something. Oh, Rick is right with him. Mossad, CIA, or both. That's what must be kept in the realm of the now. Yes. That you see, that to me, this makes sense. I get that, right? I have no reason to think that Trump was diddling the little ones. I don't have no reason to believe that. I think if he did, the Dems would have pulled that out a long time ago. I'm with you on that, Mike. I don't think he is. Again, no evidence either way. My gut says no. My gut says he wasn't doing that stuff. That's my gut. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. But this could make sense to me. And it wouldn't even be him. It would be people around him. I feel like Trump feels almost invincible since his almost assassination. I think he feels almost invincible. But I bet he doesn't feel the people around him are. That'd be my guess. So, John, thank you for the $5. Bill Gates' divorce filings. The Human Genome Project at his New Mexico ranch. We don't hear about Clinton's 20-something rides on the plane. So you're saying it's a cover-up for those guys? I'm not getting the connection, John. Are you saying that they're covering? I'm not sure where you're going with this. Is it because, why do we care about Clinton anymore? I'm not trying to be mean to Clinton. I don't care what happens to Clinton. Either way, I don't care. But why do we care about him all of a sudden? Bill Gates still power, still moving things. Is Clinton still doing a lot of stuff? I don't know. Is he? I feel like his power is waned tremendously. I'm not sure. I like what Phil and Rick are saying. That may be the answer. That to me, at least makes sense, right? I get that one. That to me seems to make sense. Yeah. Paula says, yeah, thanks for covering this. The right is tiptoeing around it, and the left just wants to bring down Trump. The LP needs to use this as a selling point the non-human trafficking. Yes, thank you. Yes, I would like to not traffic kids and non-consenting adults. I would to not do that. Yes, let's just let people who are totally okay with it and want to do it, and everyone else, leave them alone. Yes. So thank you for $2, my friend. Trump 2 fails are not ending wars. Yes. Oh. Yeah. Trump 2 fails. R with ending wars and E-Files with CIA. Yep. Yeah. I think that's true. I think I could see both of them blindsiding him. Right? I could see Trump being blindsided by both. I'm going to tell you the truth. I think Trump honestly believed he could end those wars. I don't think it was lying. I mean, maybe he was. I don't think he was lying. I think Trump honestly believed he could end the wars. I think he did. And then he found out the hard way he couldn't, right? I think the people around him were telling him stories. I think he didn't want to hear it. And I think when a deep state came, one said, dude, you can't do this. He was like, I don't care about you deep state people. I spoke to you last time. I'll fix you guys. I think he thought that in whatever his way of thinking. He thought that. And he found out, well, maybe I'm not. Yes. And I think this is where I'm moving towards this one, Mike. I'm moving towards the Rick and Phil story. I'm moving towards this. Like my gut's telling me maybe it's because now the spy agencies don't want everyone to know that they were running this the whole time. They were running EpiPen. They were running the whole damn thing to keep people in check, keeping files on people. It could have been the FBI. But the FBI used to keep files on people all the time. Blackmail was what FBI did, right? The Hoover years, that's all they ever did was do blackmail. If you remember the TV series from the book, The Man in the High Castle, in this alternate universe, the Germans win World War II. And then there's like an American, end party that runs America as part of the Großen Deutschland Empire, right? And the Reich. And they keep Hoover. Like Hoover runs the intel. He's basically the American Gestapo. Yes, because Hoover would have done that. Without question, he'd have done that. So yeah, I could see that. I'm moving towards this one. I think they're winning me over. Yes. So MW Knox says, I'd be willing to give Trump the benefit of doubt if he hadn't spent the past month caving to the Uniparty. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. It does bother me, but I still feel like that. Paula says, there was a Gary Johnson meme going around 2016 with the pic of Gary and his running mate that said LP, the non-R party. It was so true. Still is. Yes. You're right. And somehow they don't like us. You libertarians are crazy. We don't do anything with anybody who was not a consenting adult. We don't. That's not what we do. If you're not a consenting adult, we leave you alone. That's not a bad thing in today's world. In fact, you would think it's a pretty low bar to get over. It is, but we get over it. Democrats, Republicans, not so much. They don't always get over that bar. We actually get over that bar every time. Like every time. Yeah, that's it. Kim says, I'm sorry. Nothing is more important than keeping our children untouched and innocent. I get it. I do. I get it. Scientific Turner says, that guy used fake studies to bash vaccines. Okay. I guess. The idea that people think, and I know people do, that you can't talk about RFK because he's anti-vax, and that now is the one-word story you use, or the one-phrase story you use to ignore everything he does. I know it's the same as going Trump's a fascist or whatever. It's the same thing. The insults don't work, man. They just don't. And that's what it is. It's an insult. That's all it is. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And yeah, it doesn't work. I don't care. And here's the reason why. So he bashes vaccines. So what? So what? Can you not get them anymore? You can. Do your children can't get them anymore? They can. You can still get them. Nothing's been banned. No one's been harmed. No one's been hurt. In any way, shape, or form, anything RFK's union has done. Nothing. No one's been harmed or hurt. Well, people might not take vaccines now. Okay, then you need to have a better story. That's the issue. Have a better story. The institutions have been distrusted for decades, to include the medical institution, been distrusted for decades. So it's their job to be trusted. They should be transparent. But again, if you like it, get your jab. You can get all of them. None of them have been banned. They're just no longer required, which is the libertarian answer. And you are the scientific libertarian. So since you claim that to be, you should be happy they are not mandated, not angry and bashing someone for bad science or whatever. Who cares? If you like your jab, get your jab. Unlike Obama, said if you like a doctor, keep your doctor, he was lying. RFK Jr. is not lying. If you like your jab, keep your jab. If you don't like it, you don't have to. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I'm not mad. So, yes. Phil says, I actually think this shows that the MAGA coalition is at least a little bit healthier. Not much, but the fact that there's dissent with the MAGA movement is healthy. You know what? I'm going to give, you're right. You're right. It's a good point. I want to try to give credit where credit is due. And I think that's true. I think that at least they are having the fight. The left is having one too, but it's not open. It's almost like it's the Bondi establishment fight we're having right now. They're having it too. They're just not doing a good job of it. Their job is just insults. That's what the left is doing. Like all Cuomo will do is just insult Bondi as just stupid or crazy or whatever. They're not having actual conversations. I would hope the left will have conversations for their own sake on this Bondi establishment piece. It's important for them as a group. I think so. Yes. So, all righty. Let's see here. Oh, we have a poll up. I'm sorry. Let me see if we have a poll up. Do we have one up? See if I can find one. Hold on here. Let me see if I got one. Oh, we do. Okay. What can you accept involving the E? Oh, the E files. Okay. What can you accept? Burn the and every government too. Use it to advance U.S. government interests. Use it to blackmail U.S. politicians. All the above. I don't understand the poll. What can you accept involving the E files? Burn the bad guys and every government too. Use it to advance U.S. government interests. Oh, okay. So you could, okay, now I get the poll. It took me a couple seconds to get it. So you can accept to use it to blackmail U.S. politicians. You can accept to use to advance U.S. government interest. Or to burn the bad guys, the guys like youngins, the PDFs. There we go. Okay, that's not clear. Okay. I'm not sure where that one is, but okay. Paula says, I don't think there's evidence that Joe trafficked anyone. I absolutely cannot stand Biden. He was accused of assault, which is awful, but that I know of, no human trafficking. However, he did have the, yes, okay. I'm no fan of Biden also, Paula, I agree. But did he directly do the bad thing? No, I agree with you. I don't think he directly did anything bad. I don't think he did. I don't think he was doing any assaults. I don't think so. I don't believe he did any of that. Now, is he responsible for a lot of it because of his horrible border policy? Yes. But did he do it directly? No, I agree with you. I don't think he directly did any of that stuff. I don't think he was like setting people up or whatever. But yeah, that's a piece for sure. He's responsible for that problem. Yes. But I agree with you. He did not do it. Yes. All right. Morrissey says, prediction, J.D. Vance finishes his term. Wow. Okay. So now I'm going to walk down this road, John. You started this. I didn't start. You did. Is that because he has an accident? Is that because he decides to resign because he's old or something? Or is that because he gets ill? Or is that because he has to resign because of shame because he's in some files somewhere? Well, what is your reason behind that? You can't keep me hiding on that one. You got to say something about that. Which is the reason behind that? So yes. All right. Let's see if I can go here. He goes on to say, with all the bad stuff going on, Epstein's connections to intelligence officers across the world, his weird human genome project, which got donation from Bill Gates. Oh, so maybe that's why? Michael Veloff says maybe the delay of the release is to distract from something bigger. I could see that too. I could see that. But again, we have to see that. I could see that, but we'd have to see that, right? That's the issue. Yeah, I'd be waiting for something, right? I need to see something to believe that one. So we'll see. So he says, we were guaranteed transparency from every candidate ever. Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Yeah. So Michael says, Trump isn't releasing the files because he doesn't want to get unalived by the Clintons. Are they still that powerful? Do they still do that stuff? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. I start feeling like maybe they aren't as powerful as they used to be. That's where my head is. Yeah. MW Knox says he should have said the files were destroyed when he got. Oh, that would have been brilliant. Yeah. See, he should have hired you as a consultant. They should have concocted some massive thing on how somehow all the files were on a server and the server was attacked by the Chinese or whatever. I made that up, right? Whatever. And they were all destroyed, and then those servers were burned, and then the people who knew it, they got killed, whatever, right? You could just make a whole story up. And the funny part is some people would believe it. Yeah, he screwed it up. That'd have been a better story. If you're going to lie well, right? I mean, if you're going to lie well. Otherwise, you're insulting my intelligence, right? If you're going to lie, I agree. Lie well. If you're going to, that makes more sense. I completely agree. Guys, here's what I am going to ask you, though. I tell you to go to the advocates often to take the quizzes, and you should do that. But there's another part of the advocates that I don't often talk about. And the other part is they actually have decent articles, good articles about things that matter. In this case, perfect. The big, beautiful bill, or bold, betrayal. Talking about that big, beautiful bill right here. Is it really good? Is it not? Economic freedom? Is it important? Here it is, and a bunch more, right? Freedom, propaganda, all these things. The spiritual battle between communism and capitalism, all these things are here for you. The virtue of selfishness, all here for you to check out. There are tons of these articles to read. If you read the articles, you like them, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Larry, are you going to ask me to share? Yes, I am going to ask you to share. Literally what I'm going to ask you to do. If you like the article that you read, do me a favor and share it. If you like the article, share it. Read it. You like it, share it. Every time you share it, more people come to the advocates. More people have these conversations. And it's free. I'm not asking for a dime. I'm asking for a dime. Please get over here. Share this. If you like the articles, share them so people can come here. And when you go there, click the link that right now is in the description on Rumble and YouTube and Facebook. Click that link specifically so they know it's coming from here. Click that link. Read the article. If you don't like it, I get it. You don't like it. Happens. If you do like it, share it. That's the key. The goal of the advocates is to get more people talking, more people going back and forth. The goal is to understand, look, I can't get everybody to become libertarian tomorrow. I wish I could. Can I get people to think about freedom, think about self-respect, think about human respect, think about libertarianism and freedom? Can I get them to think more about it? I can, but only when they're doing things like this. Head over there, read an article. If you like it, share it. theadvocates.org. Thank you for your help, guys. I really do appreciate it. All right, grab some more comments if I can. All righty. Mike says, what makes this all worse is that the mainstream media hate the orange man. True. And this will milk the subject to divide MAGA and weaken Republicans as much as possible. No. That's not true, Mike. If you look at what's happening, this is not just mainstream media. Not this case. Usually I would say you're right. And mainstream media does hate orange men bad. But no, this is Daily Wire. This is Megyn Kelly. This is people you never heard of on the right talking about this stuff. People of everywhere they are, left, right, hardcore left, hardcore right, the Steve Bannons of the world, the Alex Jones of the world, does not matter. Everyone's talking about this. And I got to keep going down to this, man. It's because of two things. One, kids and cover up. That's the piece. If there's no kids and no cover up, this is not a story. It's not a story. This is just adults and everybody came clean. It's gone already. How do I know? RFK Jr. He showed it was, for him, it was just adults doing funky stuff on planes, but all adults, and there's no cover-up, no story. RFK Jr., if they could hammer him, they'd be hammering him right now. They can't. No kids, no cover-up. No story. He got kids and a cover-up. Big-ass story. One of them's a story. Both, huge story. So I disagree. I think you're wrong on this one, brother. This is bigger than this. And it's because it's not just mainstream media. It's a bunch of people knowing it. A bunch of doing it, yes. Ryan says, Shapiro, Walsh, and especially Knowles are the post children for the woke right. Yep. Also, they're completely horrible on certain takes, especially social issues. True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So, yes. Thank you for being a member, by the way, Ryan. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. So, John says, I was talking to Patty. If EpiPen is the person we're claiming he is, wouldn't he have more than one apprentice? Ooh. I don't know, but I like to focus on what's going on today. Maybe, John, sometimes people like that have a big problem trusting people, and there may only be one. That's why in the Sith Lord, there can only be two. That's the concept. So maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah. Kim says, the only way we'll ever see those files is after they figure out how to whitewash certain names from them. Then maybe we'll see heavily redacted parts of the file. But this goes back to the earlier piece. MK says this, right? It's the idea of you got to destroy them. See? And in the fire or in the, I don't know, in the virus that hit it, whatever, it happened to get rid of all these people. What a coincidence that is. Yes, I think that's, yeah, then it could work, right? If they somehow had, it was a fire or something, right? Or whatever it is, then I could see it. That's the answer. That's the answer. So Dave says, it's the end of the republic. They do think that. That's true. They do think that. Yes. So, all righty. Rich says, unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. All righty. You have so many. I appreciate this. Rick says, Trump swore an oath to a certain country and America second. That's good. I like that one. That's funny. John says, the Republican excuse that drives me crazy, it would tear the government down. Yes. John, yes. How is this a problem? Be a better, less corrupt, rise government from the ashes. Yep. I'm not wrong with you. You're wrong. I'm not mad at you. You're right. You're right. Yes. 100%. All righty. See if I can go down. Oh, people fighting with Mike here. Okay. People fighting him. People fighting Mike. Okay, Mike, you knew he was gonna fit. You knew he was gonna fight you. So yeah, it's just happening. I get it. All righty. Phil says, I see RFK as a damaged man who has made some genuine changes. Alcoholics Anonymous, and family. Yeah, I think it's true. Yeah. Andrea says, no one's perfect, but RFK is trying to keep his promises of being a transparent. True. He's still trying. Look, not perfect, you're right, but I see what's happening now, and if I got to pick someone who's winning, it's RFK. Yeah. Rick says, RFK was pretty open about his past. He was. And every time something came out, he came out. Yes. Shelly says, Trump's dating life has been public forever, but always with adults. See, I agree with you, Shelly. I don't think Trump did anything with kids. I don't think he did. Again, you never know, but if I got to guess, I don't think so. He likes playing around. That's clear, but that's fine. He plays around with consenting adults. The women he played around with, they wanted to play around with him. Fine. I'm not mad at you. Go. You want to play with Trump? Go play with Trump. And I think a lot of women wanted to play with Trump. And they did. I don't have a problem with it. So yeah, I've never heard of him doing, and he's the one who made that joke about Epstein. He's like, yeah, he likes him young. That tells me that Trump doesn't like them young, right? That tells me he's not that way. Otherwise, he'd be like, yeah, we both like that. He didn't say that. He was talking about Epstein. So that's why I don't think that he's looking for the youngins. I don't think he was. But Kim says Trump was gawking at his Miss Teen USA 13 through 18-year-old contestants during that clothing change for the swimsuit competition. He's a sick perpedo. But let me go on this. Here's what I think on this, Kim. I'm going to go back to my earlier one. I think that was a power move. I do. It's like, I can do what I want. I own this thing. I don't care if this is taboo. I'm the boss man. I do what I want. I think that was power, not perversion. That makes any sense. That's what my gut. Yeah. Michael says, Candace Owens' coverage of the EpiPen files has been tremendously impressive. She's not playing games. When she gets something, Candace Owens is like a dog with a bone. She's not getting off that at all. She is not. Yes, she is not. So, yeah. All right. John says, I don't want to hear any Republicans defending Trump on this virtue signal about caring about children. These people care about kids only when politically convenient. A whole lot of cope on the right. I think there's cope on the right. I'm with you. There's a lot of cope on the right. We have to figure out how this works. Yeah. Okay. Mike says, Larry, Trump likely could have until some conspired, I think, against him just because he was him, i.e. Dems twisting Zelensky and EU too. I don't blame Trump for that still going on, but Trump is still trying. Okay. Oh, you're talking about the Ukraine war. All right. Your last part, I agree. Trump is still, I think he still is. I honestly believe that Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize. I think that's why Netanyahu said he wants to get one, right? I think he actually wants one. I do. But no, I don't think it's true. I don't think Trump had any chance of ending it. I said it back then, and I still say it now. I think it didn't matter what was going to happen. And to be forward, even if he honestly believed that he could have, which I do think he believed that he could have. I don't think he was lying. I think he was wrong. I don't think he was lying. So I think he believed it. But it doesn't matter. You're supposed to know better, dude. Once you're the president, you're responsible. And as bad as it is, right? I mean, you can look back and say, well, Biden didn't want all these people to die. I mean, maybe he did. I have no idea, but it doesn't matter. His fault. Do I think that Biden actively wanted kids to be destroyed and trafficked over the border? No, I don't think Biden actively wanted that. I don't think he was like, yeah, can't wait to get the kid. I don't think so. I don't know the man, but my gut says he didn't want that. But he's still responsible. He opened the border. He's still responsible. Whether he wanted that to happen or not, my gut says he did not want that specific thing to happen. That's my gut. He's responsible. Trump's responsible. That's how it works. Either way. All righty. Keyshawn says, Trump intended to end those wars until they realized he doesn't actually make those decisions. Nicely done, Keyshawn. And sadly, he doesn't make them alone. How about that's what I'll say? He does make them, not alone. And if he decides to make them alone, he may pay a very high price. He may pay a very high price. That's the issue. So, yeah. All righty. Playnet says, are we sure we're looking for the right Trump being on that list? Oh, look at you. This chat is brilliant. I'm just going to say it. This chat's brilliant. What if that was my point of family? What if he's protecting his family? Maybe there's another Trump out there doing some diddling someplace. Possible. Well, I don't know that. Again, no evidence. But that would also make sense to me. He's like, I don't care, right? I don't do that. And again, I don't think he does. Trump's like, I don't deal with the little ones. I mess with adults. I don't care with little ones. I don't do that. So I'll let it all out. I don't care. Let those guys, boom. And then one of the agencies came by and said, hey, you didn't. True. But this family member did. And here's the evidence. You don't want this out, do you? He was like, I could see that. That's another one I could see. I could see the one that Phil was talking about, and I could see this one too. I could see that. You're like, okay, damn it. I didn't know that was a thing. And then boom, all of a sudden you're like, it's okay. So yeah. Mike says, I love RFK and I bash the jab injections. Yeah, yeah. That aren't, yeah. Okay, I don't want to say it because I'm on YouTube, but the point is a lot of those jabs aren't VAX. They're treatments, which I'm not mad at. Have a treatment if you want a treatment. I'm mad at you call it a VAX when it's not. It's a treatment. And if you want the treatment, get the treatment. Again, not mad at you. What I'm mad at, I am mad at you calling a treatment a VAX and then mandating it. I hate the first part and I hate the second part. Call it what it is, a treatment. And if you want it, go get it. Yes, I'm with you 100%. Andrea says, informed consent. We haven't been given the whole story on vaccine. Yes. And they aren't all that. Some of them are treatments. I'm going to be very clear. Not mad at treatments. Get them if you want, but stop lying to me. That's all I'm saying. Stop lying to me. Shelly asked, plain nut, are you thinking about Don Jr.? Maybe. Could be Eric's the quiet one. Maybe it's Eric. He's the quiet one. So does he got to watch out for the quiet ones? Maybe it's him. I don't know. Could be. It's a good story, though. So, Mike says, lol, took you so long to get to the poll. Yeah, I know. I screwed the poll up. I'm sorry. I didn't say it to me so long. Yeah. Rick, you not letting this go. Rick's like Candace Owen. He got the bone. He's not letting it go. Blackmail politicians for which country or entity? You not letting this go, are you? I don't mind. It's funny. Keep going. I'm all good with it. Yes. I'm all good with it. Yes. It's just kind of funny. I like that. So, all right. Let's go down here if I can. Michael says, the difference between Trump and everyone else is he campaigned on releasing the files, and then he pulled the shit show. True. Yes. Okay, John, no, John, that's no, it's a cop-out. You can't go either or accident removal or quit. No, John, you got to pull one. You got to give me one. You made the prediction. You got to give maybe two, but one. Give me why. Come on now. That's vague. It's like, yeah, tomorrow the sun will come up at some point. No, it's not a prediction. Come on, John. You got to give me something. That's it. No. I'm not letting you go over to it. You got to do something. So, yes. Rick says, Joe Biden is responsible, as he has often bragged, for filling up our prisons with extra penalties for crack over powder. Yes. Just locking up a certain demographic disproportionate with others. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. He has to. Yes. All right, let me head over to Rumble if I can and grab a couple of rants. Straight in, $2. Thank you. The dialogue will become so contrasting and confusing that we will soon believe that EpiPen is still alive. It's the alphabet agency's way of doing things. Was he an agent? This is another good point, right? Is this all massive distraction for the alphabet agencies? This goes back to what Phil and Rick were talking about. Yeah, this definitely. I'm starting to buy this more. Like, this is coming into my head. Like, this may be the thing. Like, yeah, I'm starting to think this could be the thing. And of course, Rick would ask which country, which agency. Maybe more than one. Perhaps they could be the same agency with different names. Could be that too. So yes, it's a good point, Sharon. I like that. Phil over there, thank you for the $1 for the rant. Do you think that this is an attempt to devolve Trump's power? Oh, Nixon won with huge margins, and the intelligence agencies got Nixon to go along with the cover-up. Nixon didn't plan anything. You know, that could be a combination of both, and would make Mike right also, if that's true. So could it be true? And I got to get my my tinfoil hat on today. I got the wrong hat on. I got to put a tinfoil hat on today. I should have brought it. Is it that may be true that maybe the three other agencies, when Trump won, they went, oh, you won. You're going to do what again? Hold on. Let me pull this out, pull that out, show you this, show you that, show you why you can't do what you think you're going to do. And now you got to go to cover up because we say so. Otherwise, these bad things happen. I think it flows, Phil. It's believable. I'll say it's believable. That's what I'll say. It's believable. Don't know if it's true, but I could see that as believable. I definitely could. That at least would make sense to me also, right? That would make sense to me if that was true. Yeah. All right. Let me grab a couple more of these if I can. Okay. So many of these. All right. I'm happy that you guys are going back and forth so much too. So, John says, we all seem to forget Trump was in office when Epstein didn't off himself. His attorney general went to the prison and said it was incompetence, that's true. And he's responsible for that. I would agree. I go back again. He's responsible. Either way. And do I think that Biden wanted certain things to happen? No, but he's responsible. 100%. Yes. John says, I'm looking forward to the South Park episode about Epstein and the client list as Massey went missing. Cartman will find it at the bottom of a KFC bucket. That will be amazing. Yes. Yes. Andrea says, I do believe if they could implicate Trump, they would, but the optics are terrible. No, I think now it will be perfect timing. That's why I don't think it's true. I think Mike is correct. I don't think Trump did anything with kids. I mean, of course we don't know, but I don't think so. Because of course they would right now. They'd be all over it. I think Trump did the same thing RFK Jr. did. He just hung out with the cool kids, went in some planes or whatever, hung out at the parties with the cool kids, and probably got a bunch of adult professional ladies. I'm sure he did, which is fine. Again, I know judgment. You all consenting adults, all good. I don't think he did things with kids. If he did, I agree with you. They would, if they could get him, they would. If someone else had to go down to get him, they would sacrifice them. Remember, Trump's the Antichrist. They would absolutely sacrifice someone else to go to knock him out. I completely agree. Yeah, but they wouldn't care about optics. Fine, whatever. They got to get rid of Chuck Schumer too. I have no idea if Chuck Schumer's in, but sake of argument, get rid of Chuck Schumer. Gone, Chuck. You done. If they get, this is like in chess, you got to sacrifice your queen for the king. Fine, take the queen. I want the king. I got to win this game. I don't care. I'll sacrifice all my pieces to get the king. They don't care. I can't imagine them not doing that. I just can't. Well, there's something funny I want to bring up. And there's another Epstein that matters. And that Epstein is a very special place. Which is very important. And it is not Jeffrey Epstein. It is a libertarian who talks often on civil. It is Gene Epstein. Yes, he is all over civil. He does so many articles. He does so many debates. He has spoken so well about libertarian ideals. He is all over civil. This is the good Epstein. There's a couple Epsteins. One's not so good. This is the good one. Head over to civil, civl.com when you have a moment. Sign up. When you put your name in upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little green thing. Click that green thing to the best of your ability. When you click it, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put in code LARRY. Do that, 50% off for the entire year, $25 for the year, dirt cheap. And you can see all the good Epsteins. Look at all of them. So many of them, all the good stuff. He's talking about Austrian versus Chicago economics. Come on now. Where are you going to get that? Here.
Today's resolution. The Austrian economics of Mises and Rothbard contains economic intuitions that are important, correct, and missing from the Chicago School economics.
True, by the way, but that's okay. You can hear an actual debate.
Taking the affirmative is Gene. No, I'm not the one who didn't kill himself.
Bingo.
Epstein.
There we go. I thought you guys would enjoy that. That is from last year, by the way. A nice joke. But yes, there's a cool Epstein. You can check him out on Civil. And you can also see me on Civil tomorrow night with my Wednesday show, which is only on Civil. The Wednesday show is only on Civil, and it is We Can Fix It. We Fix It Wednesday. We Fix It Wednesday, tomorrow, 7 p.m. with the one and only Spike Cohen. You'll enjoy it by going on Civil, civil.com. Code Larry, 50% off. Let you guys enjoy that. That's the Epstein who did not, definitely not, take himself out. Just saying. That part is true. All right, let me grab some more of these if I can. All righty. Let's see here. Michael says, I love Candace. Beautiful, smart, sticks to her guns, good morals, great show. I'm okay with Candace. I'm not. She says some things I don't really like. Yeah. I have other issues with her. So yes. Phil says Candace Owens has "Dude, Let's Go Lady" on repeat at home. Maybe. Yeah. Kim says whether it's a power move, or not, it's perverted perversion. None of it's acceptable. Agreed. Yeah. I'm not saying it's acceptable, but I'm just saying again. I go back to my thing often, Kim. Is it murder or is it manslaughter? Intent makes it different, right? What do I intend to do? Intent makes it different. I think his intent, still wrong, wasn't perversion. His intent was power. That's what I think. Again, I could be wrong, but I've never seen, heard, noticed Trump be into the youngins. That's just not a thing I've ever seen him be into. I feel like he's not. He obviously likes women. Obviously he does. But yeah, absolutely. Patty says, first, you can't always judge someone's age correctly. True. Second, he said he'd do his. Yeah, he did say that. But when he said that, his daughter was an adult, at least. I mean, I know this goes from like murder 1 to murder 2. I know you and Kim are going to be beating me up on this, but I'm just still talking about intent. Yes, he said that, and it might be true, but even when he said that, his daughter was an adult. That's the, God, what am I saying? Anyway, okay, Kim, Patty, you got me on. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go to the next one. Missy says, the fear mongering drives me insane. Yes, that's true. It does drive me insane. Yes. So, all righty. Let me keep going here. Okay, Johnson's removal. Thank you. Okay, John, thank you. All right. Now that is a prediction. I love that. Okay, we'll see if you're right. I like that one. Removals, that's the answer. See if it happens. I like that. All righty. Michael says, Trump needs to fire Pam. All right. Yes and no. The fire part, the problem with the fire part is it becomes an excuse, like, oh, almost like a show. Well, I'm mad, so I'm firing somebody. Now heads will roll. But if they do that, Michael, we still want the files, right? We still want the files. So it's nice, I guess, but it doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't do anything. We still need the files. So, all right. I'm going to give the Trump administration free advice. Free advice. Free consulting advice. Fire someone, Pam, whomever, Kash Patel, whatever. Find someone. And you're going to fire them. At the same time, there's going to be an accident that somehow affects the files to where not everything is in it. And you're going to give whatever's left over, how unfortunate that was, to the public. Do that, you got a shot. That's the only way this cover-up can survive. Or stop the cover-up and don't fire anybody. Just let it all out and let the chips fall where they may. I think those are your answers. One of those two. So maybe I'm wrong. So anyway. All right. Let's see here. Gulf Marine says, release the files. Trump is as guilty as they come. You mean of what are you talking about? Of being with the little ones? I don't think so. If you're saying he's guilty as a cover-up, looks like you're out of that. That's what it looks like. I mean, unless something's wrong, that looks true. Again, I'll say it again. Maybe you guys think I'm wrong. I don't see him liking little ones. Golf goes, oh yeah, the PDF. And I don't buy it. I don't buy that he's with little ones. I don't buy it. I don't think so. I'm waiting for the foil to go on sale. Get a new hat. Yeah, Patty says, I wear my tinfoil tiara proudly. Yeah, I think we need a tinfoil hat. I got it now. I got it now. Yes. Like I'm feeling like I'm that tinfoil guy now. I am. Yes. Golf says, goes back. Why look the obvious? Release the files. Yes, I agree. Release them. It doesn't. But did you just get here, Golf, or you don't believe what we talked about? We talked about reasons why he might have been doing it, right? That could make sense. It could be somebody else who he cares about. It could be because of he could be being blackmailed in some way, shape, or form by CIA or Mossad or something, that there'll be violence. Could be any of those things. So I'm not buying that does the little ones. I'm not buying it. Not another thing. I don't think so. Michael says they would have used this to stop Trump from re-election if they had the goods on him. I agree with you. I think you're right. The best they could get on him were payments to a porn star on a 30-year-old dressing room group. Yeah, I'm with you. I think if he had done it, Gulf Marine, and they had any data, they'd have used it against him. And they would have sacrificed other Democrats. If they had to sacrifice Bill Clinton, sacrificed. Hillary Clinton, sacrificed. They would have absolutely sacrificed him to get him. They saw him as literally a existential threat to the world. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I don't get it. Yeah. Phil says Alex and Gene Epstein are the preferable Epsteins. True. And the one you might not know, some of you know, Juan. Who knows who Juan Epstein was? He was the other one. Yes. All right. Let's see if I can go down here. All right. Let me grab a couple of these. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, got it. All right. Let's see here. Phil goes on to say, when you're done eating the chicken, you can put the bone in the soup instead of the pot from time to time. I like that. That's good. Yes, I do like that. Yes. Kim says the crime is the same, though. The outcome is the same, but the crime is different, right? The outcome, in other words, if I manslaughter or murder in either case, my actions cause someone to die. So that person is dead. So the outcome's the same, but the crime is different because my intent was different, right? If I was, say, I don't know, I was trying to move you out of the way because I wanted to go into a line and I shoved you and you fell down and hit your head and died. That's a crime. You're right. And the end is you died. Or did I plot to kill you and then I went out of my way? What was my goal? I planned and I killed you. Both end the same way. You're dead. True. But one is manslaughter or negligence like that. And one is first-degree murder. So they're two separate crimes. So I agreed with you that the outcome's the same. But the crime's different. And the crime's different because the intent's different. That's the issue. So yes, that's all I'm saying. I do think it's different. Okay. All righty. John says he also said the thing about the daughter on Howard Stern. There's a shock component in that show. Not buying that one, John. That's a daughter. No. Not buying it. I'm not buying that one. That's bad either way. No. I'm not okay with that. Yeah. Kim says, Trump will never fire her. She's the keeper of truth. You think so? I feel like he could definitely get rid of her. I mean, he could. I think right now he's very loyal to her. I think that's true. But I think, he would if he needed to. I think he would. I do think he would. Yeah. I think he would. Joel says, the TDS Orange Man bad outlook blinds a lot of people. Even smart, sensible people fall for it. It's true. I've seen people who just can't stand him. And just, it's almost as if they cannot imagine anything good about him at all. Like, again, same thing I was telling you. They give him every single bad trait. No good traits at all. He has all of the bad traits. He never does anything right, ever. Everything is bad no matter what. What I'm saying is I try to give people credit where credit is due. It's very rare to find someone who's bad at everything, who everything is terrible. It's rare. That's all I'm saying. Jim says transparency will set you free. It can, Jim. You're right. I agree. It absolutely can. I think that's his only way out of this. I can't think of anything else. I feel like that's his only way out, right? His only way out is to be totally transparent. Yes. So, all right. Kim goes, the damage to the victims. True. I'm just saying it's different. It's just a different. I'm not fighting you, Kim. The outcome's the same, but the crime is different. That's what I'm saying. Yes. John says Epstein's brother in an interview said Jeffrey Epstein would call Trump to have his mother comped at Trump's casino. They were friendly enough to comp his mother. Yeah, but I'm agreeing with you. But it doesn't mean by default, again, we don't have data. I don't have any evidence of this. What I'm saying is it doesn't mean that Trump was diddling the kids. It doesn't mean he was doing that. Was he hanging out with Epstein? Clearly he was. Was he probably getting tons of professional women? Probably true, right? Was he cheating on his wife? We know he was, right? So he was doing those things. But I'm making a distinction between, was he doing things that he shouldn't have been doing, breaking his oath to his wife, things like that, doing illegal things with professional women that's against the law, which I don't see a problem with. I don't think sex work's a crime. I don't engage. I don't think you should engage. But I don't think it should be a crime as long as they're consenting adults. Again, do I think he did it with the little ones? My gut says no. Again, because I haven't seen any evidence of him. He's never been that way in the past. I don't think it's true. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm open to being wrong. So yes. Patty says, here's a question. Would you leave either of your daughters or wife alone with DT? I would not, my daughter. I would. Yes. If if there's a reason for it, not just for nothing, but you mean him as president of the United States or him in his days? As president, I don't think he's going to do anything. I don't think he would. Plus, my daughters are savvy anyway, so I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't care. When he was a developer, I don't think I would have. I've never thought that he would do anything like. I never thought that of him. That was the thing I never thought of. Right? Would he hit on them? Maybe. My oldest one is 21. She's an adult. If he wants to hit on her, I guess he could. Right? My youngest is 15, but he hit on a 15-year-old. I don't think he would hit on a 15-year-old. Would he hit on my 20-year-old? Maybe. Maybe he would, but she's an adult. She can handle it. She can tell him no or whatever. I hope she wouldn't tell him yes. But she's an adult and she can make her own decisions. And she's 21 and she'll do what she wants. I hope she doesn't want that. But either way, my older daughter does get hit on by men, and she goes out with guys she likes and tells others no, which is what every adult woman should be able to do. Go out with guys you like and tell, or girls you like, whichever, and tell others no. I wouldn't be concerned about that at all. Wouldn't bother me at all. I don't know why I would think that. Now, EpiPen? No. But DJ, I don't care. I don't know. Maybe give him a job. I don't know. That'd be a problem. I wouldn't want to work with him because he doesn't pay his people. So, but yeah, otherwise, I get it. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me keep going down here. Shelly says Hillary did an entire show in Erie and was asked questions about upstate New York and got them all wrong. And they revealed that they were in Erie, Pennsylvania, not Erie, New York. Wow. That's terrible. That is terrible. Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Let me grab a couple of these if I can. That Liberty Lady become a member 4 months. Thank you. The Sharpe civilians are a cool group of people. I'm pretty stoked about Larry Sharpe and the Spike Cohen in one place this Wednesday, 7 p.m. on Civil. True. That is amazing. Thank you for that. John, thank you for the $10. Larry, I'll bet the Orange Man is a huge gossip monger and will be all over EpiPen like a cheap suit. F for the gossip. He did talk about him. That's the other thing. He talked about it, right? He chatted about him liking the young ones. He said it openly. He talked about his time. So, yeah, if it's a valid point, John. If I'm EpiPen, I don't think I even invite Trump to hang out with the youngins because he might say something. He is a yapper. He's a gossip. It's true. I mean, Trump is a gossip. That's a fact. You see him do it. He does it now as president. You see the tapes that I told Putin this, blah, blah. He does that. So you know what? Valid point. If EpiPen was able to keep his empire that long, he might have looked up Trump and said, I'm not bringing him where the little ones are. He'll tell everybody. Good point. I can see it. And again, I don't know. I know people want to make, there's lots of reasons to hate Trump. Tons. A lot of stuff he does I don't like. I tell you, it doesn't make him a young and diddler. It doesn't make him that. It doesn't make him that. Right? It doesn't make him that. And I know people want him to be that. It doesn't mean it's true. So anyway, all righty. Let's see here. All right. Kim says, if you provide transportation for a thief to do his dirty work, are you supporting a thief? Yes, but it is again a different crime, right? You are an accessory to a crime. You didn't commit the crime. Again, outcome same, but there is difference. I'm missing this difference. That's all. All right, I'm going to stop. You guys are going to get me beat up. So, yeah. Paula says, I know people who live on the island and know DT socially. If he does SA, he hides it. He's very gracious at parties, quiet but still funny. His parties were legendary, but not the P. Diddy way. Yep. If he were an SA, it will be out. Every celebrity was at his Palm Beach estate. He was not the diddler. I agree. I'm with you, Paula. There's reasons to not like Trump. Lots of them, right? I'm not 100%. Lots of reasons to not like Trump. I get it, but it doesn't mean he does it with the little ones. I just don't think he does. I don't see it. I know people they just want to make he's bad, so he does everything bad. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, yeah. Joel says, wow, DT or a bear? I'm going to go with DT, not the bear. Yeah, I agree. This guy rattles him like a moron. Do you mean me? I rattle like a moron, Gulf Marine. I appreciate I'm glad you're watching. I hope I rattle on in an entertaining way, at least. If I'm like a moron, I hope you still enjoy it. So one of the things you find in this show, Gulf, is I try to engage as many people as I can. I'm not someone who just stands on my high horse and talks like I'm super smart, even though I am super smart. I don't talk like, hey, I'm up here and you guys just must listen to me. I engage people together. We try to chat back and forth. I take on people who insult me. If that was for me, I don't know. Maybe it's for someone else. Maybe you're saying someone else does, but whatever it is, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm happy to have a conversation. I talk about conversations constantly because the only way we can fix this is by talking to each other. Without talking to each other, nothing gets fixed. Nothing does. I can't get you to believe I'm right if I can't talk to you. And I can't understand why you think I'm wrong if I can't talk to you. So I'm here to talk. That's my piece. I'm here to talk. So I'm glad you're here. You can insult if you want. I don't mind. I'll still put you up. Oh, good. John says, Larry, if Trump told you your secret was safe with me, I'd be nervous. Yes. I'm not trusting Trump to keep my secret. I'm not. I'm totally with you. Yes. Patty says, why is Giselle still in prison if no crimes were committed? That's the point. Yes. That's the point. 100%. You're totally right on this one. I completely agree. Completely agree. Yes. Guys, I know I've asked you to become members. And if you could, I would appreciate it. If you want to become a member, please do so. You can become a member on YouTube by clicking $49 per month. Click that join button, $49 per month to keep me going. I will spend less time working and more time doing this. I'm trying my damnedest to do more of these. It's very challenging. My team has been bugging me. And for those of you on my team, I've been absent for these past 3 days. I'm going through some personal things. Some of you know that has been keeping me out of the meetings and such for a while. I've been gone for like a couple of days. I know I'm still doing shows to the best of my ability, pulling stuff out to the best of my abilities. Keep going. Tomorrow we are doing our civil show. Fix It Wednesday. We fix it Wednesday tomorrow for that. I will be there. Guys, I'm going to ask you something else if I could. Besides that, click the like button. I know I bug you. It does matter. You know, I'm often banned shadow type constantly. The way I get around it is by you guys clicking that button and by you guys reposting. It does matter. Also, the algo does love tremendously when after the live, you actually post something. The comment after the live. Here's what I'm going to ask you. When do you think, if at all, when do you think the files will be released? When, if at all, do you think the files will be released? Please post that in the comments afterwards. And if you're watching this and it is afterwards, not live, and it's like, Wednesday or Thursday, you can see 2 videos pop up. When these videos pop up, please do me a favor, click on one of them and watch immediately for at least about 8 minutes or so. The algo loves that too. I will see you all